Hi, Dr. Leslie Austin here. Those of you who know me know that I've had many, many years of experience doing very high-level executive coaching and personal coaching with high achievers, not necessarily in a business setting. And I do many different kinds of work in executive coaching, mentoring and coaching people, usually very high achievers, usually in two groups. Not always, but usually. One group are those people who are already good and want to really grow themselves, expand who they are, really refine who they are. The excited learners, the inspired ones. The other group are people who I am usually hired to coach or mentor, and they're usually star performers, someone who's really good at what they do, but a lot of management difficulty. Somebody who's too good to fire and too difficult and challenging to keep. Why? They're the star performers, and the word that is commonly applied to them that is misused is narcissist. That's all over the place now. Everybody's a narcissist. And we use that word with a negative connotation that that person is bad or evil or means harm. In my years of executive coaching, many of the men I've coached, and it's largely men because men are encouraged to be dominant and win in our business culture, they're rewarded for that behavior. And there's a cost to that man. He's penalized for that over the years because in order to behave like that, you have to cut off your ability to empathize with someone else because that's considered weak. So some of your inner emotional life gets shut down when you have to behave that way. That's not fair to men, I don't think. The vast majority of the men that I have coached, the really senior high achievers, were not evil or bad, but they had developed really negative behaviors. And that, again, is because they were rewarded for it. And the people around them, they take credit for other people's work, they bully people, they make them feel bad, they make them feel invisible, they're always right, they always have to win. The narcissists' way of being is my way or the highway. It comes from a fear of not surviving. I'm not going to go into that now, but the intent is actually not harmful, and the intent of a true narcissist is actually not about hurting the other person. It's about protecting him or herself, surviving well, him or herself. That's completely different than the way we use it in the public media these days. And that's been the key to a great track record of success, helping people who are labeled as narcissists in my executive coaching and mentoring situations, to become smarter about their behaviors, learn to empathize with other people, understand the emotional playbook by which they're living, and shift their behaviors so that they get better responses. And almost every single one has ended up being so much more successful, so much more effective, and personally, so much happier. So those people are not bad or evil. They're misguided, and they've been rewarded for bad behavior. The second term that's commonly used these days is malignant narcissist, being thrown around a lot. Now let's be really clear here. I don't think malignant narcissist is a diagnosis, technically in the DSM if I remember correctly, but we're using it. Malignant narcissism is an extreme form of narcissism that really causes destructive harm. And people use that saying, he's a malignant narcissist, she's a malignant narcissist, when they've been really hurt, really bullied, very destructive effect on them. But the real definition of a malignant narcissist is this: they must have the intent to cause harm. The intent to cause harm. So for example, Mr. Putin, who's conducting a war from Russia on Ukraine as I speak, he has an intent to cause harm. He knows he's going to cause harm. And in his mind, he's doing that, he's willing to do that to win what he feels is his goal. That could be considered malignant narcissism because he intends to cause harm as a way of getting what he wants. Most narcissists, the vast majority of people, do not intend to cause harm. You must remember that even if you feel devastated, unless it was personal and they took a certain sadistic glee in hurting you, and you will know if that's true. If they take a sadistic glee in hurting you, that's malignant narcissism. If they really devastate you and hurt you and bully you and make you feel horrible and confused and disrespected and powerless, but they're not gleeful about it, it's not malignant narcissism because And here's the key. Their intent is to protect themselves. It's always about them. It's actually not ever about you. That's the one thing you all need to know about dealing with people with narcissistic traits. It's always about them. It's almost never about you, unless it's extreme malignant narcissism with an intent to cause harm, and that goes into psychopathy. So I hope this is helpful. And I do want to say that, again, in all my years of executive coaching, personal coaching, mentoring, people with these traits can turn around. They're usually very smart. They don't really want to cause harm, they just want to win. And I have helped them learn how to win smarter and better, more effectively, and connect to other people in a much more effective way. Now, if you're intrigued by this and you want to know more, I invite you to contact me. Reach out to me. Send me an email, leslie@leslieaustin.com, Leslie at LESLIEAUSTIN.com. See, I spelled it right. That's great. If you'd like to know more, I'm happy to talk to you, happy to brainstorm with you, happy to talk to you more about how you can deal with people with these traits in a much better way, much more effective way, and still keep your sanity. And if you're an executive or a CEO, I'd love to talk to you to help you out, because you don't want to be spending all that time managing the politics and the dealings between people and the team conflicts and all of that stuff that you'd really not have to manage, that actually is costing you a lot of money, a lot of profitability, and a lot of time and energy every minute. Let me help you out. Love to. My pleasure talking to you. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you very much.